Are your indoor plants looking sad, droopy, or even dying, despite all the love you're giving them? You might be making one of the most common houseplant care mistakes. Today I'll show you how to avoid them so your plants can thrive. Let's get started. Welcome to our channel where we help you create a thriving indoor garden. Whether you're a seasoned plant parent or just starting out, if you want to learn about houseplants, you've come to the right place. So give us a thumbs up and let's dive right in. Today we are talking about the top 10 indoor plant care mistakes to avoid. I've been a lifelong gardener and I'm here to help you learn how to keep your houseplants alive and well through every season. This is the first video in our Houseplant Survival Guide series, which is designed for new plant parents and those who want a refresher on the basics. We'll cover watering, lighting, soil, pots, fertilizer, humidity, and much more. By the end of this series, you'll feel confident in your ability to keep your houseplants happy and healthy. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. And stick around after this video for a sneak peek at next week's episode. One of the biggest killers of indoor plants is overwatering. When you water your plants, you probably want to make sure they're getting enough water because you don't want them to dry out and die. But guess what? It's possible to give your plants too much water. Just like people, plants need water to survive, but too much of a good thing can be harmful. Most indoor plants only need water when the soil is dry. Here's how to tell if your plant needs water. Stick your finger into the soil up to the second knuckle. If it's dry, give your plant a drink. Don't just pour water into the pot. Instead, run the water over the soil until it flows out of the drainage holes. Don't let your plant sit in standing water. Otherwise, the roots will end up burning and the plant will die. If your plant doesn't have a drainage hole, set it on a saucer and fill it with pebbles or small rocks. Then put the pot on top. Once the soil is saturated, remove the pot from the saucer. The pebbles will allow water to naturally evaporate away from the roots, which will stop the roots from burning. Not enough water is also a big issue for indoor plants. Underwatering happens when the soil's too dry for too long, and it can cause the plant to become dehydrated. Signs of underwatering include wilting leaves, dry and crispy leaf edges, drooping, and slow growth. Luckily, you can fix most underwatering issues by simply giving your plant a thorough watering. However, sometimes the damage is done and you won't be able to save the plant. The best way to avoid underwatering is to learn your plant's specific water needs. Some plants need water more often than others. Also, factors like temperature, humidity, and the type of container your plant is in will affect how quickly the soil dries out. In general though, most indoor plants prefer their soil to be evenly moist but not soggy. Lighting is another common issue for indoor plants. While all plants need some light, direct sunlight can scorch their leaves and kill them. Bright indirect light is best for most indoor plants. Place your plants near a window, but not in direct sunlight. If you notice that your plant's leaves are turning yellow or pale, it probably isn't getting enough light. Move it closer to the window and it should perk up in a week or two. If your plant's leaves are turning brown and crispy, it's probably getting too much light. Move it farther from the window and it should recover in a few weeks. The type of soil you use for your indoor plants matters too. Well-draining soil is key to keeping your plants happy and healthy. Soil that retains too much water can suffocate the roots and prevent them from absorbing the oxygen they need. The best way to improve soil drainage is by adding ingredients like perlite, vermiculite, cocoa, chips, or sand. Whatever you choose, add about 20% of the additive to your potting mix. Speaking of soil, it's important to choose pots with drainage holes. That way, excess water can escape and your plant's roots won't end up burning. If you buy a pot without a drainage hole, you can drill one yourself. Most hardware stores have a drill bit attachment specifically designed for drilling drainage holes. You may not realize it, but most indoor plants need humidity to survive. Many of us naturally dry out the air in our homes during the winter months by using gas or wood, burning furnaces on fireplaces. Plants from tropical climates are especially sensitive to low humidity levels. Symptoms of low humidity include browning leaf tips and edges, wilting, drooping, and tiny insects on the leaves. Luckily, you can easily increase humidity around your plants. Try grouping plants together, that way they'll naturally create a humid microclimate. You can also mist your plants or place them on a pebble tray. Just make sure you're not overwatering your plants. If you see standing water on the leaves, wipe it off immediately. Otherwise, you could end up with fungal diseases. It's also possible to give your plants too much fertilizer. Fertilizer contains chemicals that help plants grow, They're especially useful during the growing season when plants need extra nutrients. You can find fertilizers at almost any gardening section. Most fertilizers are liquid, but you can also find granular options. The key is to follow the directions on the label. If you give your plants too much fertilizer, the roots can end up burning and the plant will die. If you notice that your plant's leaves are turning brown and crispy, it probably needs less fertilizer. Skip the next feeding and see if that helps. On the other hand, if you never fertilize your plants, they won't have the nutrients they need to thrive. During the growing season, most indoor plants need fertilizer every 4 to 6 weeks. If you notice that your plant's growth is stunted or the leaves are turning yellow, it probably needs fertilizer. Another mistake plant parents make is not repotting their plants. As your plant grows, it will eventually outgrow its container. At that point, you'll need to move it into a larger pot with fresh soil. Repotting gives your plant room to spread its roots and access more nutrients. You can tell that your plant has outgrown its pot if it's stopped growing altogether, or if the pot is bulging or the roots are circling inside. The best time to repot is in the spring or summer when the plant is actively growing. Where you place your plants can make a big difference in their health. If you place your plants in a drafty area, the roots can end up burning and the plant will die. Drafts can also stress plants out, making them more susceptible to pests and diseases. You can avoid drafts by keeping plants away from doors and windows. Also, avoid placing plants near vents or air conditioners. Temperature extremes can also stress your plants out. The ideal temperature for most indoor plants is between 65 and 75 degrees Fahrenheit. If it gets too hot or too cold, the plant's growth will slow down and the leaves may drop. Lastly, don't forget to clean the dust off your plant's leaves. Dust can block the pores on the leaves, preventing them from photosynthesizing. You can clean your plant's leaves by wiping them with a damp cloth. Do this once a month or whenever the leaves look dusty. Let's take a quick minute to recap everything we've covered today. To sum things up, avoid overwatering and underwatering your plants. Give your plants bright indirect light. Use well-draining soil and pots with drainage holes. Increase humidity around your plants. Don't over-fertilize. Repot your plants when they outgrow their containers. Avoid placing your plants in drafty areas and clean the dust off their leaves. If you avoid these 10 common indoor plant care mistakes, you'll end up with healthier, longer living plants. Now that you know the mistakes to avoid, your plants will thank you with vibrant growth. If you found this guide helpful, hit the like button, subscribe for more houseplant tips, and share this video with a fellow plant lover. Happy planting!